Okay, let's see how this quick shifter works. Third, fourth, fifth. I have to tell you, I really like this quick shifter. Stoney just did a vlog about using the quick shifter on his new Triumph, and I'm in the same boat as Stoney. This is the first bike I've ever had with a quick shifter, and I've gotten used to it pretty quick. Gives this old man a clutch hand a break. Well, I hope everybody's doing well. George Rambleman here. It's a beautiful Wednesday afternoon in North Georgia. For those of you that might care where I'm at, I'm on Yellow Creek Road, headed south out of Pickens County into Cherokee County back to my home in Forsyth County. So it's been a relatively cool day for August. I mean, in the 80s, you can't complain in Georgia when it's only in the 80s in August, that's for sure. So I got back from the trip to West Virginia back in June. It's been a couple of months now since we did that trip. Stoney, John Gilbert, and Bill Foster and myself met up in North Carolina, rode up through southwestern Virginia on the back of the Dragon through Tazewell up to Beckley, West Virginia, then on up to St. Mary's, across the Ohio River. Went into Ohio just to say we'd been to Ohio. Came back, went to Seneca Rocks, came back to Summersville, and it was like 4 days of riding the beautiful roads of West Virginia, and the weather was great. It was kind of hot, but just a great trip. I took an extra day to ride up and ride back, so it was, it was almost 7 days for me, and that's the longest trip I've taken in quite a while. And I'll do a vlog soon and tell you all the things that I kind of added to my bike to make it worthy of a week-long trip like that, but that's a subject for another day. I want to kind of chat with you a little bit about retired life today on this vlog. This is going to be a short vlog, and it's not really motorcycle related all that much, but for those of you that follow me, I've been retired since January, and it's August now, so I've been retired for 7.5 months, and kind of want to give you my thoughts on it and how it's been for me. And in full disclosure, I do want to say that I did retire in January. I stepped away from the day-to-day responsibilities of my job, but I am still doing a little small part-time consulting work. I've got a couple of projects that I was working on when I retired. I'm going to finish those for the company, so I'm doing just a little bit of consulting for them, a little bit of traveling, but like I said, I stepped away from the day-to-day activities of the job. I was president of the company, so I no longer have to worry about management type things with the company, supervising personnel, profit and loss. I don't worry about that anymore, and that's a good thing. So what's it like being retired? Is it what I thought it was going to be? Sorta, not 100%. There's been some surprises. But retirement, for those of you that or maybe are coming up on it in the near future, and you're thinking about it and kind of wondering about what it might be like, I'll just give you my experience for the first 7.5 months of being retired. It's different. I worked pretty much out of college since 1979, so it's at like 44 years I worked, and then I worked my way through college and in college, and was really bagging groceries when I turned 16 years old. So I mean, going to work has just been a part of my life for, like roughly, 50 years plus, and so not working was different. And the last few years of my working life, it was pretty intense. I had some financial goals I wanted to hit, and before I retired, and the company was very, very busy. And I tell you, I was for the last 3 or 4 years, I was on the road all the time. I was just working probably 60-70 hours a week, and it was intense. So I was looking forward to just having that weight of deadlines and the pressure of clients off my shoulders. And I pretty much told everybody, and especially, you know, friends and family and, you know, other co-workers, I said, you know, just kind of leave me alone for a couple of months. I just kind of decompress. And I did that. And it was nice not to have 100 emails a day, multiple phone calls, deadlines hanging over my head. I stepped back and took a deep breath, and that was great. My wife and I took a week's cruise to the Caribbean. That was fun. We, you know, I took the motorcycle trip to West Virginia for a week, and my wife and I just got back a few weeks ago from Ireland. We took a week and went to Ireland. Had a great time. We flew to Atlanta to Dublin, then we drove down to Kenmare, which is a little small town where her family comes from, and she still has second cousins and various relatives over there. In fact, Michael O'Sullivan, one of her second cousins, still runs the family sheep farm outside of Kenmare. We got to visit with them and go to the farm, and it was great. Spent a week over there, traveled around the kind of the southern portion of Ireland, and it was a blast. Michael said if I really got bored during retirement, I could come over and work for him on the farm, because he's about 42 years old and a little bit older than my son, and he takes care of a 500-acre, 350 head of sheep farm by himself, and that's quite a chore for him. So who knows? Maybe I'll go over there and be a sheep farmer. Quite a few motorcycles over there, I'll say that. I saw, you know, a little town we stayed in Kenmare was a nice little Irish town, and saw a lot of motorcycles over there, and I want to go back and actually ride a motorcycle over there. The roads are narrow, and I think I'd have felt better driving those roads on a motorcycle than I did on a car, to be honest with you. You know, getting used to driving on the other side of the road, having a steering wheel on the other side of the car, it takes a little getting used to, that's for sure. But we had a great trip, and we're back from that now, and we'll probably go up to New England some this fall and visit with my wife's family. So I've done quite a bit of traveling this year, much more than I normally do, that's for sure. So that's been different. It's been fun. I've thoroughly enjoyed that. So, like I said, I was really looking forward to, you know, kind of having that pressure of work off my shoulders, and it was great. For the first couple of months, I wasn't punching a clock, and I wasn't checking emails constantly, and I had a chance to read a couple of books I've been wanting to read. It was great. But I do have to tell you this, you know, retirement's a process, and if you think you're just going to do nothing forever, that's not going to work for you. At least if you're like me, it won't. So after a couple of months, you know, the pressure was off, and I felt refreshed, and I thought, well, I got to think of something to do. I can't just do nothing. So I've began to make plans. I serve on the board of the Champions Place, which is a shared living community that my daughter lives in, and I'm on their board, so that's taking up a little bit of time. I'm doing a little bit more work with the Knights of Columbus at our local parish, and that's great. They have a Knights on Bikes motorcycle group, and I've ridden with them some. That's been a lot of fun. So I had a friend of mine who retired a few years ago, and he said, you know, you can't retire from something, you got to retire to something, and that's true. And so I'm still kind of getting my feet on the ground for deciding, you know, how I want my, you know, what I want my life to be like as a retired guy. It's great to have the freedom to be able to do things like today. It was a Wednesday, and the weather was beautiful. I had nothing on my calendar, and I've been out riding a motorcycle all day, so that's, you know, that's great. I love it. And, you know, for you guys that think that, you know, you're indispensable at work and the company revolves around you, I went to the office a few weeks ago. I just kind of wanted to, I didn't have anything to do, and I thought I'm going to go visit with the guys a little bit. And, you know, my company, we have project managers who travel all around the country, so you're never guaranteed everybody's going to be there. But I knew that a couple of my closest co-workers and friends were going to be there on this particular day, so I took off and went for a visit. And after I don't know, after 30 minutes of sitting around just kind of shooting a breeze and talking about things, you know, they said, okay, well, we got work to do. Nice to see you. And they went back to their offices, and I'm kind of out there in the common area thinking, okay, I guess that's my signal to leave. And I did, and it was great to see them and visit with them. And but you know, if you think the world revolves around you or your company revolves around you, you can think again. When you leave, your company will move on without you. And if your job needs to be replaced, they'll replace you very, very quickly. And that's the way it is. So I came home and told my wife that it was great to visit with the guys, but the company has moved on without me, and they're doing just fine. And that doesn't hurt my pride or my ego one bit. It's a great company, and I knew it was going to be that way. And you know, I wish them all the best. That one coworker of mine that works there, he's a big baseball fan like I did, and we've done a couple of baseball trips this year. We went out to Arizona and did a little hiking out there at Antelope Canyon. Then we went and saw the Diamondbacks play in Arizona. That was fun. Then a couple of weeks ago, we just got back from St. Louis and Kansas City. One night we saw the Cardinals play in St. Louis, and then the next day we were in Kansas City and we saw the Royals play. So that was a lot of fun. And getting to do something like that was something I wouldn't have been able to have done when I was working, that's for sure. too busy for that. But that was fun. And a couple of weeks I'm gonna catch the Tigers in Detroit just on my own. I got to go up to Lansing. Like I said, I'm doing a little part-time consulting for some jobs that I'm kind of finishing up for the company, and got a job in Lansing, so I'm going to fly to Detroit, drive over to Tiger Stadium. I don't guess it's called Tiger Stadium anymore, but I'm going to drive over there, catch a game, and then go do my job and come home. So I'm enjoying, you know, my baseball trips. It's, you know, kind of fun. I've always been a big baseball fan, and a chance to get to see games in other cities, it's a blast. So those of you guys that are kind of in my age range and you're looking to retire, I highly recommend it. It's you know, you'll know the time when it's time to retire. You'll know. Some people retire earlier than others. Some keep working. It's just everybody's their own. You got your own personality to think about there and how you're going to do things. But when it's time, it's time. Just do it. I did it, and I'm glad that I did. I've had a lot more free time to do some things I've been wanting to do, and my wife and I have had a chance to travel. I've taken some motorcycle trips, like I said, taken some baseball trips, and I highly recommend it. It's a lot of fun, but if you know, if you think you're just going to do nothing, that's not going to work. You're going to be bored pretty quickly. It might take you a month or two to get there, like it did me, to kind of realize that you know, you're going to have to find something to do. So be thinking about it. Realize the retirement's a process. It's another phase of your life, and it's a great phase to be in. So I'm on Franklin Gold Mine Road now, not too far from my home. I'll sign out here. Hope everybody has a great week. And before I sign off, those of you that followed me in the past and used to follow NC Stoney, he has started up his YouTube channel again. So just put NC Stoney in the search bar. You'll find his channel right away. And he's started his channel again, and he's a great guy. He's a lot like me, and we're very similar in a lot of ways. And you know, we met on YouTube years ago, and he's really one of my very best friends and great riding buddy. And check his channel out. You won't regret it. He's got some great videos, and he lives in North Carolina. I live in Georgia. We're not that far away, so we get together for trips a couple times a year. We're hoping maybe this year to meet up in Robbinsville this fall. We'll see how that works out. So check him out. Great guy. All right, everybody have a great week. This is George Ramblin' Man. So long, everybody.